expected the world, but it flew away from her reach, and the bullets catching her teeth. Life goes on, it gets so heavy, the wheel breaks the butterfly, every tear a waterfall. In the night, the stormy night, she closed her eyes. In the night, the stormy night, away she flies. A dream of paradise, paradise.
Good afternoon, families, guests, faculty, staff, and fellow students. On behalf of Gateway to College and Pathways Early College, I would like to welcome you to the moment that we have all worked so hard to get to, our graduation ceremony. My name is Chloe Casey, and I am a Gateway to College graduate as of tonight. Over the past year, I've had the privilege of serving all students at Mount Wachusett Community College as the Student Government Association president. Additionally, I have served over the past 2 years as the president of Crew Club, which is our Christian fellowship club on campus. With our various starting points in this class, whether it be 2020, 2021, or 2022, we have all faced major difficulties with the COVID-19 pandemic. Coming into school with dreams, aspirations, and a drive to explore, and then being met with the wall of COVID, masks, and hand sanitizer, it was really odd for many of us. However, it did not discourage us. Many students still made perfect grades, discovered careers and fields of study that interest them, learned new hobbies and skills, fostered new friendships, and so much more even with the COVID-19 barriers. Today, we come together as one body of students who, despite the pain and challenges of sleepless nights and countless hours of homework, have come out with an experience that is invaluable as we leave here and start the next chapter of our lives. Some students will go on to continue their education, some will go into the workforce, and others may travel. As for myself, I'll be getting married in just 3 short months. Thank you. So no matter where we go, the experience that we've learned here can be carried with us. Before we go our separate ways after tonight, and as we go throughout this ceremony to close this chapter of our lives, I'd love to leave you with a piece of scripture that means a great deal to me. 1 Corinthians 15:58 says, "Therefore, my dear brothers and sisters, stand firm. Let nothing move you. Always give yourselves fully to the work of the Lord, because you know that your labor in the Lord is not in vain." I will forever lift you up in my prayers, fellow class of 2023, and thank you to everyone who came here tonight to celebrate with us, and those who are watching online, and everyone who supported us while we were on this journey. At this time, I would like to welcome tonight's national anthem singer, April Rosello, a fellow Gateway student, to the stage. Please silence your phones and stand if able for the singing of our national anthem.
Thank you very much, April. That was fantastic. A beautiful rendition and a great way to welcome us this evening. I could tell when I first walked in that there were some of you who were here last night who heard me when I said that we celebrate at the Mount. We celebrate our students' achievements Let's give them one more round of applause and let them know. And Chloe, I would be remiss if I didn't emphasize how appreciative I am of your leadership of our entire student body. You've been a great president for our Student Government Association, and I've very much appreciated your leadership. The students, they know that they were in good hands with your leadership, and I very much appreciate that. Thank you. Welcome, students, family, friends, Mount Wachusett Community College faculty, staff, trustees, Gardner Public School District staff, and administrators and distinguished guests to the 2023 graduation ceremony of the Pathways Early College Experience and the Gateway to College. I am Jim Vanderhoeven, and I'm the president of Mount Wachusett Community College. Before I introduce you to the platform party, I would like to recognize a few special guests we have joining us this evening. We have Representative John Zlotnick, Representative Natalie Higgins, MWCC Board of Trustee member Tricia Pistone, MWCC Board of Trustee Irene Hernandez, our Chief of Police, Dr. Melissa Croto, and Lieutenant Jim Hawkala, Vice President Sandra Quay, our Chief Diversity Executive, Stephanie Williams, our Vice President of Student Affairs, Jason Zaleski, Deans Margaret Gillette, Dean Lori Okapinti, Dean Missy Sargent, and from Academic Affairs, I'd like to welcome Rick Skinner. And I didn't forget, I think some people who are very instrumental in your development during your time here at the Mount, your Gateway and Pathway faculty members who are here. Dan Susi, Candace Shivers, Jeff Thompson, and Priya Banerjee. We also have a number of MWCC staff in the audience and volunteering tonight who have given of their time and talents to help our early college students succeed. I would ask that our staff who are here to support tonight please stand and be recognized. Joining me in the platform this evening, I would like you to join me in welcoming Interim Vice President of Academic Affairs, John Eisler, Fagan Forehand, Dean of K-12 Partnerships and Civic Engagement, Sarah Vatisse, Director of Early College and Dual Enrollment, Stephanie Bowen, Coordinator for Early College and Dual Enrollment, Carol Breda, Pathway Early College and Gardner Early College Transfer Counselor. Charmise Gunn, Gateway to College Resource Specialist. David Thibault Munoz, Gateway to College Resource Specialist. And Mark Pellegrino, Superintendent of Gardner Public Schools. This work would not be possible without the deep relationship that we have with the Gardner Public Schools. We are grateful for their innovation and partnership and the tremendous impact that our collective work is having on the student experience. Dr. Mark Pellegrino has been working in Gardner since 2011 after serving for 2 years as the principal of Gardner Academy, Gardner's alternative high school, and then 4.5 years as the principal of Gardner High School. Dr. Pellegrino was promoted to superintendent in 2014. He has a master's degree in organizational psychology from Springfield College and his doctorate in educational leadership from Boston College. He's been a driving force in bringing Gateway and Pathways to Gardner and creating a robust early college program that is accessible for all students. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Pellegrino, Superintendent of Gardner Public Schools.
So good evening, faculty, staff, distinguished guests. President Vanderhoeven, thank you for having me here. We deeply love our relationship with Mount Wachusett Community College and the relationship that supports Gateway to College. So I'm honored to be here celebrating your achievement, class of 2023. I'm particularly proud of the fact that you took a chance. You decided to take college courses during high school. You basically went to a different school with different classes, different teachers, a different community, and quite frankly, a lot more work, which is pretty impressive to me. You made a great decision. And with decisions, I'd like to share a brief story. It's something I've been thinking about for a little while now. I told this story before at a graduation speech, and the father, who is the star of this story, recently passed away. So I've been thinking of him in this particular story, so I'd like to relate it to you. So several years ago, this father told me a story about his son's freshman year. One day he was reviewing his son's 9th grade progress report, and he noticed that there were several homework assignments that had zeros. I know you've never done that, but it happens. I hear some laughter from parents. Very good. So he asked his son, "Why do you have zeros on some of your homework assignments?" And his son said, "Well, the homework doesn't count towards my grade, so I didn't do it." So his father remained calm, which is something that I've never been known for with my children, and chose an interesting course of action. Instead of yelling and screaming, he took his son for the day out to Boston. They hung out for the day, saw a game, and after the game, around 10 o'clock, they went to Harvard University. They went to the library. And he asked his son, he said, "What do you see here?" And his son said, "I see a bunch of students working late at night on a Saturday night. Boring." "Well, you're correct about the hard work part," to the father. "But why do you think I'm showing you this?" And he said, "Well, you want me to be like these other kids." And the father said, "No, I don't want you to be like these other kids. I want you to be you. I want you to follow your dreams. But I'm showing you this because this is your competition. This is who you're now competing with. You don't just compete with your friends. You don't compete with the students in Gardner or just students from Massachusetts. You're competing with students from all over the country and all over the world. These are just a few people that you'll be competing with. So you have to try your best in everything that you do. I love you, and you can do this." Well, that young man was admitted to a very prestigious college, and he always did his best. And I have no doubt that he will be successful in life. But I'm telling you this story, not only just to give me a great parenting lesson, but to remind us that as you graduate, your competition is global. I tell you this story also because you have a cheerleader in your family. Your parents have supported you throughout your time, and you're now somewhere around 18, and they've been supporting you all that time. Please remember this. Talk to them from time to time because they'll always be in your corner. They can help direct you when you're lost, cheer you on when you need support, and push you when you need to be pushed. A cheering section can help you fend off self-doubt, and self-doubt is your enemy, and it happens more easily as the years go by. Please remember this, and remember to drive on. Thank you. Best wishes and good luck to the class of 2023.
Hello, everyone. I'm Gardner Mayor Mike Nicholson.
I'm Lizzie Kazinskis, President of the Gardner City Council.
And we just wanted to take a moment to congratulate you all on reaching your early college graduation from Mount Wachusett Community College.
We'd like to wish you the best of luck in all your future endeavors, and thank you for taking the time in Gardner to further your education.
So whether you call Gardner your full-time home or Gardner's only been your academic home for the past 2 years, you're always welcome back, and all of us in the entire community are very proud of you and know how much work you put in to get here. So while we can't be there with you in person, We're just as proud of you, and we know the sentiment's all there. So congratulations from all of us here in Gardner.
Congratulations and good luck.
Good evening, all MWCC graduates, friends and family, faculty and staff. My name is Destine Luabe, a future doctor. I'm the author of 12 Days of Black and a student rights activist. From the moment I heard the question, what will you talk about, I knew what I wanted to talk about. I don't want to talk about all the generic things about this school, but it does mean a lot. It means a lot to me. I wanted to talk about the way the school has offered me opportunities, not only for myself academically, but has offered me opportunities that not only I could imagine, but my immigrant parents couldn't imagine either. As a Black woman in a majority white town, I find it hard to belong and fit in. Although I'm older now, and the pressure to fit in has subsided, there's still a deep subconscious want for belonging. MWCC has given me countless of opportunities to be with people who look like me, who talk like me, and even have experienced different cultures in so many ways of life. Honestly, I believe the only way college looked realistic long-term was, outside of the dependent years of my parents, was through this Gateway program. The program has set me up in ways unforeseen. The real thing about this program is that you will have to put the work in to get where you want to be, and that's the biggest life lesson that any good program can teach you. I've been able to meet people of all sorts of different dreams and ambitions in all forms of different walks of life, which has given me such a rich experience. Over my years at MWCC, I've been able to represent the change that is happening here. It's given me so many opportunities to have a voice and to be heard. I've been able to write a book and reach my fullest potential in areas where I've lost confidence in myself. But in that moment, I chose to keep persisting. We chose to keep on persisting. My wish is for anyone who is sitting in these chairs in front of me, is that if there's someone who has ever said you can't do it, that it's too hard, that I don't know if this is something you should do, I want to let you know there is so much meaning beyond their words. And all that you are is proven in these seats that you are sitting right now. Everyone here hasn't had the easiest story as to how and why they got here. But we are here to show everyone who believed we couldn't do it, everyone who believed that we wouldn't make it thus far, but we did. We showed everyone, and we did it, and we defied our own odds. Don't let anyone limit you from the potential and greatness you have inside of you. If you truly want to be a doctor, an artist, an English teacher, or work with preschool, you can do it. To everyone in front of me, you did that. No one can steal this joy and achievement for us. We have come so far, so wherever you end up in life, just know that you've decided where you'll go, no one else. Next, I would like to take a moment to introduce our Gateway Alumni keynote speaker, Molly Murphy. Molly graduated from Gateway to college in 2009 and stayed at MWCC for several years as a staff member in the Emory Court Job Ready, working in the Division of Access and Transition within our TRIO program. She graduated from Fitchburg State in 2013 with a degree in Human Services and obtained her master's in social work from Salem State University in 2021. Molly has worked for the Department of Children and Families since 2003 and is deeply committed to giving back to her community and helping others in need. Please join me in welcoming our Gateway and College Alumni keynote speaker, Molly Murphy.
Thank you. Thank you, President Vanderhoeven, Dean Forhan, friends, family, special guests, and the graduating class of 2023 for having me here tonight. My name is Molly Murphy, and I'm 32 years old with a master's degree and I work for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. What if I told you I was a high school dropout? Would you believe me? Would you believe me if I told you when I was 16 years old, I threw in the towel at traditional high school and I called it quits? Well, you better. At 16, I decided that I couldn't handle traditional high school. But I'm standing here in front of you today speaking about how far I've come in my life. I didn't think I was going anywhere when I was 16. I had dropped out of high school. It was one of the darkest times of my life. I thought I was a total failure. My family was in turmoil, my health was not great, and there was nowhere for me to turn. Luckily, someone intervened and showed me the Gateway to College program. My family and supports were met with resistance because I couldn't see the bright side of having to drop out of high school. I just wanted to work and I wanted to be left alone. I was leaving my friends at high school and mourning the loss of what I thought high school was supposed to look like. As an adult now, reflecting back on my life, Gateway to College saved it, saved my whole life. I was given an opportunity to grow and learn with people from different backgrounds, learning styles, and no one judged you for who you were or where you came from. We were all in this program because of different challenges that we were faced with and we were working on overcoming together. I was exposed to real life at my time at Gateway to College, and I was shown time and time again that when people cared, they would in fact show up. A lesson I hadn't learned in traditional high school, and a lesson that I hold true to myself now as a practitioner in the helping profession. When I finished my time with Gateway, I moved out of my family home and I went off to college, where I was unfortunately through some more curveballs. I had an established life on campus at the University of Rhode Island. I was in Greek life, I played sports, but I got sick and I needed to move home. Because of my time at Gateway, I learned that my story wasn't over here and I could overcome this hurdle that was thrown at me too. I went back to Access in Transition at the Mount, and I asked for a job while I was home from school, while I was still deciding what I wanted to do. I knew I needed to go back to school, but I also needed to work because, well, life was still going on. I ended up working at AmeriCorps through the Mount and learned to love working with kids and families. So I went back to school for Human Services at Fitchburg State University, much to my mother's chagrin. I worked with Access in Transitions throughout my college and loved every minute of it. I learned so much from my students, my colleagues, and I knew that what I was doing was meaningful. I learned to love learning throughout my time working within these programs and my time in college and on college campuses. I learned to love that I always loved to learn. I just didn't always love the way I was being taught. This is something that I ask you to think long and hard about for your journey, to really think about what makes your heart bleed and go after those dreams. School might not have been your strongest journey, but you're here at your high school graduation. Today, all of your hard work has paid off. Today proves to yourself and to those around you that you did it. Despite what the world has thrown at you, you've accomplished the first of many things in your life. Step foot out in the world today and find what your passion is. Think about what drives your learning and go after it. And remember that just because you haven't taken the road everyone else has doesn't mean you cannot get to where you want to be. Things may get tough, but that doesn't mean you should give up, just like your high school journey. You'll need to find the right path for you. You can accomplish any goal with hard work and determination. A friend of mine always says to me, "We can do hard things." And that's a way to remind me that I can get through anything. So remember, you too can do hard things. You can do anything you set forth to do. Surround yourself with people who are pushing you for greatness and not drowning you. Think about people who have gotten you through these years in high school and continue with those kind of people in your life. For me, success is measured by how much happiness we have in our life. They say you'll never work a day in your life if you're doing what you love. I'm not sure I totally agree with that, but I can tell you that making a difference and finding what makes me happy has made going to work on a daily basis that much easier. I'm not here to tell you how perfect my story has turned out, because my oh my are things far from perfect. I'm not even here to tell you that I have answers to all of your success. What I'm here to tell you today, to drive home to you, is that you've overcome every obstacle that has been put in front of you thus far, and to remind you that you can overcome every obstacle moving forward. I'm here to congratulate you on your biggest accomplishment yet, and to remind you just how big of an accomplishment a high school diploma really is. I'm here today to tell you that you matter. Your opinions, your goals, your values, they all matter, and do not let anyone ever tell you otherwise. I'm here to remind you that sometimes the tough stuff in life is our greatest lesson and our greatest accomplishment. So in those moments, remember days like today. Days like today when you're laughing and celebrating all the days that were dark and stormy. Because I tell you, it's easier to get through those tough days. As someone who sat in your seat almost 15 years ago, I can tell you that the lessons that you learned in this program will transfer to your life and will carry you a long way with just a little bit of hard work and a little bit of confidence. Thank you for allowing me to be here today to be a part of your special day. Congratulations to each and every single one of you. All of your hard work and dedication has really paid off. I wish all of you I wish all of you success in each of your unique journeys in the world, and that you can do everything that you put your mind to. And as Dr. Seuss says, you have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes, you can steer yourself in any direction you choose. You're on your own and you know what you know. You'll be the guy who'll decide where to go. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Candace Cooley-Johnson, and I'm the president of Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society. I want you all to imagine a plate of freshly baked chocolate chip cookies with a tall glass of milk. Imagine the warm gooiness of one of those cookies in your mouth after you take a bite of it. Now imagine the satisfaction of cold milk washing it all down. I want you to think about how that made you feel. Warm, safe, happy. I bet you want to go in for another bite, for another drink. Do you feel like you could never get enough of it? Like the smell of those cookies could never get old? That is how I feel about Mount Wachusett Community College. This school, this building is my safe place. I'm happy here, I'm content here. There was never a day, aside from finals week and that one semester I took pre-calc, that I did not want to be here. I'm so thankful for the opportunity to be a part of this program. I have built bonds and made connections that will last a lifetime, and I've learned so much about myself in the process. For example, I like giving speeches. I took a speech class in the summer where I stood up in front of the whole class and gave a 5-minute speech on how much I love the superhero The Flash, and I've been hooked ever since. The Mount is, this program, this school, pushes you to be your best. The Mount is filled with faculty that loves what they do and wants to see each and every one of us thrive. There's this phrase, "It's me against the world," but I've never felt that to be true here. Everywhere I turn, there has always been someone in my corner rooting for me, pushing me, guiding me, and I'm so grateful for that. I truly did enjoy my time here as a student, which isn't something I thought I would ever say about high school. I hated 9th and 10th grade. People would say that high school is some of the best years of your life, and I never understood that. I would see my upperclassmen friends post goodbye messages on social media for graduation, and I thought they were downright insane. All I could think was, you enjoyed this? But I get it now. I'm going to miss every person in my cohort, every person I've made a connection with. I'm especially going to miss all of my advisors who sat very patiently in their offices with me while I had many mental breakdowns because I couldn't decide which college I wanted to go to. It's UMass Lowell, by the way. I want to thank my mom, my support center at the Learning Success Center, Nathan, Coralina, and a certain 6th grade teacher of mine. I want to thank you guys for believing in me and for giving the strength and courage to believe in myself. To the class of 2023, I want to take this time to say that I am so proud of each and every one of you for this amazing accomplishment. I'm going to miss all of you so much. I wish you good luck on your future endeavors, and just know that I will always be in your corner rooting for you. It was a crazy journey, but we did it. Now I'd like to introduce you to our Pathways Early College Alumni keynote speaker, Thomas Elborn. Thomas, a Gardner native, graduated from the very first Pathways class in 2012. Since then, Thomas has attained degrees in psychology, divinity, and theology at Assumption University in Gordon-Conwell Theological Seminary. Thomas is an adjunct professor of theology at Assumption University, where he dedicates his time to reading, writing, teaching, recording, and publishing about philosophy, technology, religion, and its intersections with politics, history, economics, and social life. He lives in Worcester with his wife Alicia and son Tommy IV, and has a deep love for Chinese food. Please help me welcome Thomas.
Like you, Candace, I like to talk too, and the people who know me saw me walk up and went, oh God, oh no. But I promise you, I promised a certain amount of time. I got 2 pages. They are double-sided, but it'll be quick, okay? I'll make it quick. But first, let's take a breath, yeah? Let's take a breath together. 1 in and 1 out. Close your eyes for a second. Just bear with me. Close your eyes. Feel the moment. Let the moment sink in. Things are flying by. The day is going by fast, but for a minute, just pause and take it in. Imprint how you feel in this moment. You won't get another chance. Your pride at your rightful accomplishment over all these difficulties, the mutual excitement of you and your fellow students who have been on this journey together, the love that you have for them, for your friends, for your family, the fear and anxiety about what might come next. Another breath. Look at each other. Look in each other's eyes. I know, it's cheesy, but feel it for a second. Feel it with your senses. What are you seeing? What are you feeling? What are you smelling? Just for a moment, live in the moment. Because it has been 11 years now since I was in your place, and the moments, they rush along. And the same time that came for me, though I hope I don't look it, will come for you too. And as Augustine of Hippo wrote, no sooner do we begin to live in this dying body than we begin to move ceaselessly towards death. For in the whole course of life, if life we must call it, he was a bit of a pessimistic guy, it tends towards death. No one is allowed to stand still for even a moment. So it's not to be too dark, but what are you going to do? And I don't mean just your job. I don't mean just your work. I don't mean your next degree or your next career. Too often we act like that is all education is for. But I'm asking you something deeper. What are you going to live for? And what are you going to die for? In the words of the great Leo Tolstoy, what meaning has your life, has my life, has our lives that the inevitably approaching death will not obliterate? I'm a popular teacher, huh? Oh, allow me the honor, though, and the undeserved honor and undeserved pride to tell you something that I've learned about what we are doing here, about where we are going, you, me, all of us. In fact, it's something that you've already been doing. Seek something true, love something good, and serve something beautiful. Seek something true, love something good, serve something beautiful. Let's start with truth, right? Because that's the essence of an education. You get to learn, but as a professor, I've discovered that truths are often taught piecemeal, separated, alienated, disconnected. You learn a bunch of facts. You vomit them out on a test, rather than have some sort of vision of truth that encompasses your life, brings direction to it, the kind of things that define who you are. You're given the skills necessary to work, but not necessarily the skills to answer what you and I are doing here as human beings. That's left up as sort of an unnecessary multiple choice question, but I think it's the most important. Of course it would. I'm biased. It's the most important question there is. I think the health of our minds, our bodies, our society, they suffer for how ignored this question is. We fail to recognize a shared common good, a shared world, a universal obligation that we as human beings all have to each other. Instead of some great truth that we all come to recognize together, it's as if only my individual perspective on the world matters. Your individual perspective on the world matters. Whatever you and I individually see alone as best. But I think we need to be seeking capital T truth. The truth that is the hard, painful, self-critical pursuit of all pre-assumptions. See, truth, it's got a nature like gravity. Oh, that doesn't swing. Nature like gravity. It is, regardless of what we'd like it to be, and it pulls on us. It slows us down. It demands attention. Like all things, we're caught up together in something. Your lives here at the Mount, our lives here in Massachusetts, our lives here on planet Earth. This idea of a truth that transcends my own life, my own individuality, my preferences, my likes, my dislikes, that's something I learned here at the Mount. I learned it studying literature with Jay Gearin. I learned it studying critical thinking with Susan Blake. I learned it in the elegance of math with Festus Caprono. I learned it with philosophy with Dan Susi. Seek something true. Love something good. Serve something beautiful. There are a lot of good things. Family, art, as you already know, Chinese food. So let me suggest something that I have found most worth it. The good that makes all good things good. The kind of love, the kind of empathy, the kind of compassion that lets you feel another person like you feel yourself. I think that's what's at the heart of everything. To take in the joys and the pains and the sufferings and the happiness of those around you as your own, because in truth, they are the same in the great interdependence of human life. What you are makes me, and what I am makes you. This kind of love, this kind of attention, it doesn't aspire to typical conventional definitions of success, of wealth and power and fame, because I promise you, almost everyone who achieves that conventional acquisition of wealth and power and fame achieve it through means that are oppressive and exploitative, dehumanizing, that require stepping on the people around us, fellow human beings. Rather, I think the success of a human life, what is going to fulfill you, is a simple love of good that reaches down and not up. It reaches down to feel the pain of those who are exploited in our supply chains, the dehumanization of our scapegoats in society, the fear and loss of the oppressed, bombed-out villager. Even more so, it reaches inside of your enemy, tries to understand them, how they came to be, so that you can seek goodness, justice for others as you would want it sought for yourself. Goodness is what makes you act. If truth lets us recognize what is, then goodness is what fuels action in response to it. To be willing to sacrifice yourself for something bigger than you. At MWCC, I learned how to experience the stories of others as my own. Come to love them and be moved to act accordingly. I learned it in history with Todd Goodwin. I learned it in psych with Jan Gearin. And I learned it in sociology and human services with Candace Shivers. So seek something true, love something good, serve something beautiful. Beauty is a bizarre phenomenon. I don't know how much you've thought about it, but it's very, very strange. Think of your favorite song, your best movie, the majesty of the sunset, the depths in another person's eyes. Yeah? What enchants us? How do these things, what we call beauty, come to move us beyond ourselves, draw us out of ourselves, almost like they possess us? Beauty is something that makes a demand on you. It asks you to step out beyond your own experience. Yes, there are many beautiful things. For me, it's Makoto Shinkai's movies, or Florence and the Machine's choruses, or the view of the Milky Way from Cherry Springs, Pennsylvania. If you've ever been, you should go. my son's smile, my wife's laughter. The wife who, incidentally, also graduated from the Pathways program 11 years ago with me, when I invited her, when she was yet only my crush, to come along with me to this new thing for such ulterior motives. But what all beautiful things share in common is that it's an extension of oneself into somebody else. It's a musician sharing their soul with you. It is my wife and son expressing their inner joy to me. It's the cosmos itself opening up its heavenly vault to share something, to give something. Beauty is found in the vulnerability of self-sharing, moments that we wish could last forever. That kind of eternity that we hunger for, something I tasted here at the Mount with the love that my cohorts had for each other. With eating together in the cafe, studying together in empty classrooms, hanging out, just vibing in the overlooks above the what used to be a quad. Something true, something good, something beautiful. Because it's going somewhere, yeah? I've heard it said by the eminent philosopher Michael from Vsauce. Don't know if you're aware of Michael from Vsauce, right? Great YouTube channel. That there's three kinds of time. Three kinds of time. There's a long and short time. The long, short time is it feels long when you're in it, but it's really short when you remember it. Think standing in line at the RMV. And hopefully not any of your classes, but maybe some of your classes. Lasts forever. Maybe you're even feeling it this moment. Lasts forever. But you don't remember anything. There's a second kind of time. A short time. It's a new kind of time. It's time that comes up where time flies by while you're in it, and you also don't remember anything about it. It's the classic endless scrolling, right? We all know it. I know it. You stop 2 hours later and think, wait, what have I been doing? And you don't remember half of anything. Time that was wasted both in the present and in your memory. But there's a third kind of time. This is short, long time. Time that feels short while you're in it. It flies by. It's intense, but you remember it as full and deep. You remember it the way you remember your wedding, or the way you will remember this graduation, or the time you spend with friends on a good night. This is the kind of time that enters eternity. It pushes away death. It's time you won't regret, the time you spend in creativity, in challenge, in relationships. It's the kind of time that's created by seeking true things, loving good things, and serving beautiful things. This is why I still come back to the Mount to visit with professors. Professor Susie, please answer my emails, please. That's why 11 years ago I told my comrades who had gathered together here that we all became adults together, and that was and is something marvelous. That's what you did. You became adults together. You entered the world together on the same page, on the same experiences, building the same platform. And it's time that you will remember as bursting with life, eternal time. Because in the end, it is truth and goodness and beauty that will bring us to that kind of life. The relationships that stave off death and our inevitable ends. It was here at the Mount that Garo Papazian, the first director of the Pathways program, taught me this. With his profound insight, his absolute attention to the moment, his wisdom that comes from pain, deep love in his kind eyes for all the people around him. I'm wrapping it up now, I promise. I'm a professor. I'm an adjunct professor of the phenomena of religion, of theology, of philosophy, and in all my study, I've never come closer to understanding the meaning of human experience than how in the pursuit of truth and the love of goodness and the service of beauty, there is at the heart of it a selfless, indiscriminate love that is transcendent and sacrificial and never-ending. See, these questions are not abstract. These issues are not ponderous ether. You're all already doing this. Everyone here is already doing this. You can't avoid living without philosophy, living without theology. I would argue living without religion. You can't avoid being a historian, a psychologist, a sociologist, a politician. Just by existing, you're engaging in all of these aspects of human life. And education is about wondering if you've done that thoughtfully. Have you done that well? Have you done that carefully? Have you reflected on it? You've been pursuing truth and loving goodness and serving beauty this whole time. Did you realize it? Have you looked at it? Take another breath. Take the moment in one more time. Where are you? What are you thinking? What are you feeling? Because when all these moments resolve, when everything that education has made you reaches its final state, when the time has run out, what will save you is that you sought truth, you lived goodness, you served beauty. You lived a life well spent, poured out generously to bringing heaven into earth, and having expressed that great love that energizes everything, you'll be able to hand on the baton to the next generation. So seek something true, love something good, and serve something beautiful. Say it with me one time. Seek something true, love something good, serve something beautiful. And if it did for you anything like it did for me, then the Mount has prepared you well for that. I wanted to check my wrist here as if I was looking at the clock. I don't even know if that makes sense anymore. Do people wear watches? I don't wear a watch, so that may be a thing of the past soon. But I'll say this last of all, as I look at you. I feel almost like an older sibling, as cheesy as that is, watching you guys walk the same paths that I and my fellow cohorts did, who they wish you well, by the way. I told you that you were all here, and they wanted me to wish you congratulations. And though I don't know you, though I hardly know you, I feel you, and I can love you in a certain small sort of way, knowing what you've been through, the challenges you've overcome, the magnificent things you've done and will do. And with that love, I wish you the best. A deep life of fulfilling, world-overthrowing love. And those of you who I know out there, don't leave until we get some pictures together, okay? Have a good evening, graduates. Congratulations. Oh, I get one too? You get one too. I'm honored. You could have withheld it for going so long.
Thank you so much, Tom. Good evening. I am Sarah Batiste, the Director of Early College and Dual Enrollment here at the college, and it is my honor to introduce tonight's student speakers from both the Gateway to College and Pathways Early College programs. By choosing to attend Gateway or Pathways, every student in this room made a commitment to challenge themselves academically, socially, and personally, and have demonstrated so much growth during their time at MWCC. We are so proud of each and every one of you. First, I'd like to introduce Nadia Aldrich. Nadia is a resident of Fitchburg and attended Fitchburg High School prior to coming to Gateway to College. She graduated last night with her associate degree in interdisciplinary studies and has hopes of becoming a real estate agent and starting an event planning or interior design business. When she's not in class, Nadia enjoys crime shows and reality TV. Nadia cites the Upward Bound Trio program at Fitchburg State with helping her to understand the importance of attaining her college education and inspiring her to keep going. Please welcome Nadia Aldrich to the stage.
Good afternoon, and thank you all for being here today to support today's graduates in the closing of one difficult but beautiful chapter, and for being here today as we will now begin our lives. My name is Nadia Aldrich, and I am a proud graduate of the Gateway to College program. The Gateway to College program provided for me a different opportunity than I was getting in my public high school, and it challenged me in a way that I was no longer being challenged before I left my high school. I came to Gateway in January of 2022, halfway through my junior year. Within 4 months of me being at the Mount, my grades were already higher than they had been since I was in the 8th grade. I was presented with the opportunity to get both my high school diploma and my associate's degree at the same time and keep my graduation year. Many people who know me know that college wasn't something I was so sure about, but I've always wanted to be an attorney because, man, I can argue. So I knew I could not pass up on this offer. I'm also a part of the Upward Bound program at Fitchburg State University, and I feel as though I owe them an extremely big thank you for the support they have given me since before I was even a freshman in high school, even though they couldn't make it here today. Julie, Crystal, and Tina have watched me grow so much, not only academically, but as a person. They took me in the program as this young girl who was always in trouble, always needed to argue, and they watched and guided me as I found my way and became who I am. So for all of them, I will forever be grateful. At times, there were many people that doubted I would make it here. But I never lost faith in myself and who I am. And I knew I would be walking on this day because anything else wasn't an option. There's been many obstacles throughout this process that delayed and stumped me, starting with my concussion last summer that was caused by an accident, a reckless and distracted driver that hit me. That made me become very angry, and I knew that I had to turn that anger into fuel, and I had to finish my semester. This day has been a goal and a checkpoint for me, as well as my classmates, for over a year. All of us struggled throughout this process because it wasn't easy. It wasn't ever anywhere close to easy. But here we are today at our most beautiful and our most handsome because we did it. And if nobody has told you guys yet, I'm extremely proud of all of us. I remember always hearing Miss Gunn, my advisor, say, "You need to know where your support systems are." And I always knew my biggest support was my parents. But it wasn't until I was writing this speech that I really realized it. My parents have been my biggest support throughout this process. Even though they annoyed me and I felt like they were being mean, I realize now that they were just pushing me to the potential they raised me to be able to reach. Some advice that my mom always gave me and I want to give to the rest of my classmates and their family is to always follow your gut, your instincts, your intuition. Because when you stop and go against it time and time again, you'll lose it. There were many times I came to my mom upset or worried and asked her what to do, and she would tell me that I already knew or I needed to believe in myself. And that's so annoying to hear at the moment, but it's true. I love you, Mom. I want to thank my dad as well. He helped me and supported me in different ways, but without him, this process would have been so hard. He helped me in a time crunch to get my first car, so I was able to travel back and forth from Gardner to Fitchburg, and I didn't have to rely on anyone else. And I love you so much, Dad. I want to give my last thank you to my boyfriend for staying by my side and for uplifting me, even when things got thick, and for continuing to push me to the potential you saw in me, for making sure that I continued to set myself up for the future I wanted for myself. Even though we now have to merge our visions for our futures, as we will soon be welcoming a little one. And for my family watching online, that's my surprise for you. My last words for the graduating class of 2023 is a quote I found while internet surfing. It's okay not to know what to do with the rest of your life. It's a journey to find your direction or passion. So don't get frustrated by the mistakes and setbacks as they happen to all of us. In shorter words, for any of us that are unsure what we still want to do not get discouraged because you feel like everyone else does. The reality is most of us will probably change our paths within the next 10 years, at least once. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nadia. And make sure you come visit us with that little one. Next, we will hear from one of our Pathways Early College graduates, Christine Bodu. Christine also graduated with an associate's degree last night with a 3.96 GPA. She held numerous leadership roles in her time at MWCC, including Vice President of Phi Theta Kappa and Treasurer of the Alumni Club. She plays the violin and enjoys traveling, ice skating, cooking and baking, and spending time with her family. And this fall, she is headed to UMass Lowell to pursue a degree in biotechnology and hopes to become an industry leader in the management and curing of disease. Yeah, please welcome Christine to the stage.
Good evening, esteemed teachers, families, faculty, and the outstanding class of 2023. Before I begin, I would like to thank our teachers, parents, or guardians and counselors for your help and support throughout these 2 eventful years. I can speak on behalf of my fellow graduates when I say that we appreciate all your combined efforts to get us to graduation day. Therefore, I ask my fellow graduates to join me in a round of applause for our teachers, counselors, and families. Awesome. To the class of 2023, congratulations, we made it. It was a grueling 2-year process filled with long sleepless nights and ghastly amounts of homework, but we're finally ready to move on to the next chapter of our lives, college part 2. I have thought a lot about my time in Pathways and in high school, and I concluded that we've experienced this tendency to do this when we fail to overcome a challenge. So let me set the stage. You have just spent the last few days studying meticulously for your statistics exam that was on a Friday. Despite Friday being the worst day to have a test, you decide you're going to study harder than you ever had before. In those days, you read and reviewed your notes every day after class. You have taken countless practice tests and went to many study group sessions. Come Friday, you wake up feeling so ready to ace this exam. You stride proudly into class with your pencils neatly sharpened. You take the exam and feel the weight of the world lifted off your shoulders. You return to class on Monday expecting a beautiful A+ written on the top of your paper in bright red pen. The teacher comes around and places everyone's tests face down on their desks. Already, you hear a classmate shout, "I got an A," or "What did you get?" Finally, your test comes back to you. You cross your fingers and say a quick little prayer before flipping the test over. And guess what? You absolutely bombed it. I'm sorry. A horrific score of 75% in bright red pen stares you right back in the face. You begin to feel numb, and the sounds of your classmates' victories are echoing throughout the background. Your friend who sits next to you exclaimed, "I got an A. I barely studied and I did awesome." They lean over and ask, "How did you do?" They steal a quick glance and go, "Oh, well, you'll do better next time." In your grief, you think to yourself, how come I can't be good at math like them? Am I really that stupid? Do I even belong here? I know most of you can identify with this tendency that we have whenever we fall short of our expectations, the tendency to compare ourselves to another. And if there's one thing I want you to take away from this speech today, it's to not compare yourself to others. I know you hear this a lot, but this lesson carries a lot of meaning once you've experienced it for yourself. I have found myself in a scenario like that many times before, and it did absolute wonders for my self-confidence. I say this sarcastically. So much so that when my mom mentioned Pathways to me, I was hesitant to apply for it. I thought I did not have the skills or requirements to complete such a rigorous program, but my parents encouraged me to do it anyway. I worried that the applicants would have better essays, better interviews, or more impressive credentials than I had. And yet, to my surprise, I got in. And when the time came for me to take my first statistics exam, I focused purely on myself and did all that I can to do the best that I absolutely could for that exam. And luckily, I passed with flying colors. This success served as validation for me that I can do this and that I do not need someone else's ability to succeed on my own. You see, to compare yourself is to insult yourself. You possess qualities that no one else has because you were born unique. You're given a set of skills that make you good at certain things and not so good at others, and that's okay. But what is not okay is letting comparison steal your joy and steal the opportunity for you to grow and strengthen the best part of yourself. Your uniqueness is the greatest strength you can have. It is what separates you from the rest. You must focus on finishing your own race. Do not go out there to prove others wrong. Do it to prove yourself right. Participating in the early college program has helped me see that, and I'm beyond thankful to God that He blessed me with this opportunity. Thankful to my mom, who somehow remembered Pathways after so many years. Thankful to my parents for their encouragement and support. Thankful to my wonderful counselors, Stephanie, Kara, and the early college team for their guidance and willingness to help. Thankful to my amazing siblings who made me laugh on the toughest days. Thankful to my teachers who helped me to love learning again, and thankful to the wonderful class of 2023 for the memories we've made together. We did it. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Sarah Bravo, and I've had the privilege of serving Mount Wachusett Community College as the Student Government Association Vice President, the African, Latinx, Asian, and Native American Club Co-President, and the Gardner High School National Honor Society Vice President. I also had the honor of serving my community as the coordinator of the Greater Lancaster Holiday Food Drive. Honored guests and respected staff, I want to thank you all for not only taking the time to come to celebrate the accomplishments of the class of 2023, but for being part of the vibrant community of our graduates. During the days I used to watch Hannah Montana with my little sister, I never noticed the subtle wisdom behind the main concept of her song, The Climb, that she sang in one of her movies. In her song, she uses a mountain as a metaphor for life's challenges, and even proposes that over the course of our life, the most important part of the journey is not found in the amount of time it takes for us to complete it, nor is it really the end goal that truly matters. Rather, some of the most important moments of our lives are spent in the midst of the journey itself. It's what we choose to do when we find ourselves staring at the bleak glow of an empty Google Docs page before an upcoming deadline, or the late-night tears not necessarily provoked by relationship troubles, but rather math drama, that signify the person we want to become and the work ethic we want to build. Like Abraham Lincoln once said, we can complain because roses have thorns, or rejoice because thorns have roses. The pieces of our character flourish and are refined during the times in which we show grit and resilience in the face of adversity and difficulty. It's the memory of the extensively elevated landscape of rocks, hills, and valleys that eagerly welcome the refreshing hug of open air at the top of the mountain. Our life will most likely be spent climbing and trailing mountains of opportunities, so graduates, don't forget to look around and enjoy the beauty of the present. For me, moments that illuminated my years here at the Mount include walks with friends among the beautiful backdrop of trees and singing birds, watching the rays of a golden sun seep through the big windows of my evening chemistry lab, eating lunch with friends in the honors rooms, feeling my face turn rosy pink as I giggled with beloved professors or classmates, and the very first moment I felt the exhilarating sensation of relief and pride in my stomach as I read through my very first English 101 essay grade. As we stand at the peak of the mountain we call high school, let's all take a moment to look at the beautiful view of the accomplishments we've worked so hard to achieve. I love the buzz and excitement of seizing this opportunity to empower you to look to another mountain or goal so that you can dream of the tomorrow you want to see. Never let the ambition and drive that led you to this very program go away, nor let your hunger for knowledge and truth get satiated, for the quest for a well-cultivated mind is one that lasts a lifetime. One of my favorite songs is called Hills and Valleys by Lauren Wells, and in that song, one of my favorite lines says, "When I'm standing on a mountain, I know I didn't get there on my own, and when I walk through a valley, I know that I'm not alone." I would like to take this moment to thank those who have walked with us throughout these 4 years, because every graduate sitting here today can attribute a piece of their success to somebody. For starters, I want to point towards my God, whom I believe has truly walked with me throughout all the highs and lows over the years. The back of my cap says, "Para mi mamá y papá y papito, que llegaron sin nada pero me dieron todo," which in Spanish means, "For my mom, dad, and grandpa, who came here with nothing but gave me everything. They're my pillars, and I wanted to thank them and the rest of my family for leaving me a legacy of hard work, resilience, and determination." Our early college programs would not be possible without dedicated faculty who believe in the work that we do. So I wanted to especially thank my beloved advisors, Ms. Cara and Ms. Stephanie, who never failed to lend me their kind and patient ears throughout my time here. Lastly, I also wanted to thank our respected professors here at the Mount, who took the time to cultivate the spark they saw within us and made us love our education. I wanted to thank professors such as Cara Roach, James Corman, and Nancy DeLeo, and South Lancaster Academy teachers like Michelle Vinton and Veronica Iria. When I joined the Pathways program, a former student trustee, who is my older brother, Abraham, advised me to take a class with one of his favorite professors. I ended up liking this professor so much that I took 3 classes with him. To the college, Professor of Philosophy Dan Susi is a champion of early college and serves students in his roles as Chair of Liberal Arts and Sciences and Interdisciplinary Studies programs, as well as the coordinator and the chair of the Commonwealth Honors Program. But to me and his students, Professor Susi is an incredibly kind, funny, and charismatic professor who often feels more like a mentor and a friend. In all of his classes, he takes the time to form a long-lasting connection with his students as he worked to give us the skills to form our own ideas and opinions. He truly does live up to the image of wisdom his beard and over the 25 years of experience with philosophy leads you to believe. Therefore, it's my honor to welcome to the stage to provide our faculty address our beloved Professor Dan Susi.
You're in luck, two philosophers. Anyway, what is it all about, Professor Susi? As you can imagine, I've been asked this question in the past. Jokingly, I often tell my students I have a file cabinet in my office containing all of the philosophical answers. Yet, given the time constraints I face, and the file cabinet being infinite, I never seem to find the time to get to the bottom of things. Yet, I find the utmost happiness rummaging through its contents while I have the time. Philosophy is not about the answers or outcomes. It is about the spirit of inquiry and what it teaches us about humanity and life. I also believe this reasoning holds to a good education generally. We do reach milestones such as days like today. It is not a piece of paper, nor a transcript notation. Rather, it is what these objects symbolize. The process that, for many of you, began in the autumn of 2021 and has come to a close in the spring of 2023. It is the process that the dash between these dates represents. What made this process significant and meaningful? Well, those of you who took my classes with me may remember me taking the wall off the clock and telling you that time does not really exist. I didn't want you to miss out on the important aspects of learning. You see, it is an observation I have made throughout the many classes I've taught that most of my students are first and most familiar with the clock. When I get long-winded, their outward appearance makes this plain. Yet, the way we think about future contingents, what needs doing next, and future aims can sometimes be to the detriment of a good education. It is my intention to have you become immersed in the present, the now of the classroom, so that ideas are alive to you. Additionally, when impending deadlines for papers come near, my email becomes a swarm of student concerns. Yet, as I tell my students often, if you are present in class, engaged, and immersed in our community of scholars, you typically need not worry so much about the shadows of these future events. I've never had an engaged student do poorly. It is the student who is enthusiastic about their studies and has developed a passion for the material who comes to care less about the endpoint and fully embraces the topic at hand. For this student, education is alive. And the student is whole before the class. For this student, the passage of time from the start of our journey together to the destination transpires almost indiscernibly. If you have had experiences such as these in your education, then it is these experiences that are best represented by degrees and celebrated through ceremonies, these lived spaces of teaching and learning. I also think it is important to note that the groundwork for creating a living environment for education, where learning is not a matter of dusty texts and dead language, is to make all we do in the classroom for the sake of creating a hospitable space for everyone involved. A space where we all feel at home, and that each lesson, each conversation is seen as a welcomed and happily anticipated adventure in ideas. To this end, teachers must listen to their students and learn from them. I have learned of student interest in ideas ranging from the everyday, the scientific, the mathematical, the aesthetic, and the metaphysical. I have listened to student ideas and opinions concerning a range of topics, including coffee, rock and roll, Buddhism, wabi-sabi, astrophotography, wrestling, string theory, good and evil, blacksmithing, the physics of trebuchets, horses, African American culture, medical ethics, time, God, and non-classical logics. I also remember a paper on the problem of evil that was delivered, over a decade ago. Yeah, it was very strong, though I think you might have dismissed natural evils a little bit quickly, so we probably should revisit that later. I've been engaged in understanding my students in this eclectic set of ideas, and it amazes me that I'm here now with you at the end of your journey. I'm so very happy to have shared these moments with you. How lucky can one man get? Of course, the lesson is plain, yet I'd like to extend the reasoning one last step. It is not only applicable to philosophy and the good education, it is applicable to us understanding the good life. I think it is fair to invoke the story of Sisyphus, who is doomed to continually push a boulder up a hill, only to have it roll back down again ad infinitum. As we know, life can be like this, but don't despair. It is not the start or the finish that matters so much as it is the dash between the dates. It is the moments filled with good conversations, good friends, family, and so much happiness as we can find together, despite the struggles we face. It is these moments that should be the focus of our admiration and pleasurable contemplation in life. So I remind you of the philosopher Diogenes this summer. When Alexander the Great was said to search out Diogenes for his wise advice, Alexander found him lying about the streets of Athens. When Alexander posed his questions to Diogenes, the philosopher responded to Alexander. He asked Alexander to stand a little less between him and the sun. Remember this, if you are ever overwhelmed by all your future plans you are anticipating, do not allow them to eclipse your time in the sun this summer. The mundane is at times magnificent. Perhaps we have all had a little glimpse into the metaphysical file cabinet. I'm proud of all of you. Congratulations. Proud of you, Maya, as well. And oh yes, one last thing. This speech was generated by GPT chat. No, just kidding.
Thank you, Professor Susie. It is now my pleasure to introduce this year's class valedictorians. And this year, we impressively had 2 students from Gateway to College, both with a 4.0 GPA. So we couldn't pick one. We'll hear first from Maya Beeland. Maya joined Gateway to College in spring of 2022. She works part-time at Teaching Wonders Childcare and also has an older brother who graduated from Gateway as well. Maya graduated with an associate's degree last night and was honored last week at the Evening of Excellence as recipient of the President's Key for graduating with a perfect 4.0 GPA. She plans to enter a nursing program and fulfill her dream of becoming a nurse. Please welcome Maya to the stage.
Dear esteemed faculty members, Family, friends, and fellow graduates, my name is Maya Bieland, and I'm honored to stand here before you today as a valedictorian for the class of 2023. We've been through a lot together, and it is with great pride that I address my fellow graduates as we prepare to close this chapter of our lives and move on to the next adventure. As I reflect on the last few years, I am filled with memories of countless ups and downs and the ways that we have grown together as a group. My friends have played a significant role in my success in this program. From forcing you guys to quiz me on my biology flashcards 200 times a day to my overwhelming anxiety over exams. You guys have always been there for me. We've had moments of triumph, moments of challenge, and even moments of defeat. Yet, we have persevered, grown, and flourished these past 2 years. We've been privileged to gain the tools we need to inspire ourselves into the next journey, to be agents of change, to break down barriers where we see them, and to chase our dreams with conviction and commitment. Graduation marks the closing of this chapter and the opening of a new one as each of us begins to shape our own path. I extend my warmest congratulations to my fellow graduates, reminding all of us of our success and happiness, reminding all of us of our hard work and achievements over the years, and wishing each and every one of us continued success and happiness wherever it takes us. I want to thank our teachers, administrators, and staff who have worked hard to help us through these formative years. From lectures and book readings to the extra care in presenting tough material and providing understanding. Every faculty member has left a lasting impact on our lives. One teacher has gone above and beyond to ensure each of her students feels confident and welcomed in her classroom. Miss Nancy DeLeo, thank you for being patient with my 7 frantic emails you would receive daily from me, and thank you for being kind and thoughtful. Believe it or not, you made statistics fun. Graduates, we owe a debt of gratitude to our parents and family members who have encouraged us, loved us, and supported us in our journey. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for being patient with my incessant worrying and compulsive studying. Thank you for telling me everything is going to be okay. Thank you for reminding me how the world will not end if I get a B. I want to thank Sebastian, my brother, for always believing in me and always offering good advice when I've had a stressful day. I also want to thank my younger brother, Benjamin, for always letting me hug and squeeze his cheeks when I'm stressed out. My family and God has helped to remind me that the people I love are the most important thing in my life, not just good grades. I want to also say thank you to Bill, the custodian gentleman who made my days brighter by opening doors for me, telling me amazing and crazy stories, and by greeting me in the halls. I want to thank David, my advisor, who has helped guide me through the program. He has been so patient and understanding. He's taught me many life lessons for which I'm truly grateful for. In these times with many challenges that we are seeing today, it can be very hard to find the silver lining. But we should remain positive and optimistic while embracing curiosity, resilience, and flexibility, challenging ourselves to carve out the life that we want, both individually and as a community. Thank you very much, and I wish the class of 2023 every success in the years to come.
Thank you so much, Maya, and congratulations to you. Next, we'll hear from our second valedictorian, John Dixon. Yes. John joined Gateway to College in the fall of 2022 and is also graduating with a perfect 4.0 GPA. John was the recipient of the John and Abigail Adams Scholarship for his high achievement on the statewide MCAS test. He plans to continue his studies at MWCC this summer before he heads to UMass Boston this fall to study computer science. Please join me in welcoming John Dixon to the stage.
Good evening, my name is John Dixon, and I'm the valedictorian for the 2023 school year. I first want to take the time to thank those that have helped me get to where I am today. I would like to thank my mother, who has pushed me to be the best version of myself. I would like to thank my father, who's not in attendance, but for helping me realize what my dream is. I would like to thank my Aunt Linda and Uncle Toby for opening their doors and supporting me in my goals. I would like to thank my grandmother, who I refer to as Nano, for being the extra bit of support that I needed. And I would like to thank Ms. Gunn, David, and the faculty at MWCC and Gateway College program for the opportunity that they have given me. The Gateway to College program has been very important to me. It's a program that provides a window of opportunity to those that care about their education and want to earn their diploma in a non-traditional way in a college setting. I care very much about my education and I enjoy learning in a college setting, but that wasn't the case in the past. I am someone with a lot of self-doubts, and because of that, I underestimate the efficiency of my schoolwork and the abilities I have as a person. So if you were to tell me back in middle school or even 2 weeks ago that I would be valedictorian, I would think you're insane. Overcoming my concerns is a challenge, but thanks to the support I've received from the Gateway to College program, I've been working to overcome them. I will also admit that I wasn't as motivated in school as I am today. In the past, I didn't care much about completing my schoolwork and preferred to stay at home and play video games. That was the level of my motivation until high school. What changed was a realization introduced to me by teachers and family members of how my low-level motivation could lead me to living a life that I didn't want to live. And I didn't like the thought of that and became more wary of my actions. That was the wake-up call I needed to take control over my education and put forth my best effort. Thanks to my hard work, I now have an opportunity to roll into a four-year college and major in computer science, where I will pursue my dream of becoming a computer programmer. Because of the outcome that I've made, I thank those people that have helped me realize the influence I have over my life. To my fellow graduates, you might know me as the person that doesn't speak more than 10 words a day. Although I don't say much throughout the day, deep inside my thoughts, I have an admiration for every single one of you. I respect the different personalities that we all have, and I love that you all made this school feel like a place of belonging. And because of that, I am grateful. One piece of advice that I could give you and to future early dual enrollment students is that if you, with a bit of passion and effort, your dreams and goals will become a reality. Once again, I would like to thank all that have supported me through my journey. I will continue forth my path, living the life that I choose to live, while being the best version of myself that I could be. Thank you for the honors.
Thank you so much, John, for such an inspirational and moving speech. Next, I'd like to introduce our Pathways valedictorian, Joshua Gifford. Josh also graduated last night with his associate's degree and is headed to WPI in the fall to study engineering. He is a member of the Commonwealth Honors Program and was awarded the Outstanding Achievement Award for Excellence in Mathematics at the Evening of Excellence last week. Josh is also an accomplished musician, playing the double bass with the local orchestra, and is an accomplished pianist. And we couldn't let this night go by without you experiencing his piano playing because he is amazing. So after he speaks, he will be playing Arabesque No. 1 by Debussy for us. Please welcome Josh to the stage.
Oh, it's so bright up here. Graduates, we have come together to celebrate our educational achievements. Congratulations, Pathways and Gateway students. Over these last 2 years, we have learned many skills. I want to emphasize 3 of them: teamwork, perseverance, and gratitude. I remember the first time we got together at the Very Hands Farm. We got to know each other while working together, the theme of our time here. We didn't know each other then, or what we were getting into, but in the end, we navigated through college together, even with the pandemic. For our first semester, we were basically the only ones on campus, and we had to wear masks. But this didn't stop us. We began by taking cohort classes together. In psychology, with Professor Griffin, we battled for first place in Kahoot reviews. And in writing class, with Professor Banerjee, we reviewed each other's papers. We even took a speech class together, and even though I don't like giving speeches, I guess it was useful after all. Especially right now. Thanks, Professor Martin. From there, we chose our own classes to explore our own interests while still getting together for a small Christmas party and a visit to Level 99. Overall, Pathways has given us a valuable college experience. We connected with supportive professors, engaged in student life, and benefited from the support services available to us. My fellow students and I are grateful for this opportunity to surge ahead academically. Now, all of this would not have been possible without the support of our faculty and professors. First, I want to thank the early college team, the main reason we are here. Thank you, Stephanie, for being our first counselor and getting us settled in for college life. Thank you, Kara, for helping us with our college applications. Thank you, Jessica, for helping me buy my course materials, even when it was the wrong one. That was neither of our faults. Thank you, Natalie Nelson, for answering all the random questions I had whenever I stepped in the office. And I'd also like to thank our professors. Personally, I'd like to thank Professor Olzak for challenging me, but still helping me every step of the way. Professor Thompson, who was always kind enough to let me take notes before erasing the board. Professor Taylor, for answering my computer science questions clearly. And Professor Susi, for his support in the honors program. And I'd also like to thank the many other professors who educated and listened to us. In ways big and small, they supported us, even if we didn't know it at the time. Oh yes, I'd also like to thank my parents. Graduates, I have something special to say too. I want you to thank each other. You might be a little interested about that, but we actually helped each other the whole way. Whether it was just chatting at lunch or just quizzing each other to prepare for finals, we supported each other in different ways. Just imagine how different our experience would have been without having any friends to talk to. Personally, I'm grateful for the friends and acquaintances I've made inside and outside of my cohort. Now, we have come together for this graduation, but soon we will go our separate paths. We have a whole future ahead of us. Whether you are entering the workforce or continuing your education, I want you to remember these days and the lessons we learned: teamwork, perseverance, and gratitude. This program has been an amazing journey, an amazing experience, and an amazing pathway for us. Good luck to you all, and thank you.
Josh, thank you so much for sharing your incredible thoughts and your even more incredible talents with us. What a gift for your fellow graduates. And congratulations again to all 3 of our valedictorians. Good evening. My name is Fagan Foran, and I have the honor to serve as Dean for K-12 Partnerships and Civic Engagement. Tonight, it is my distinct honor to present these candidates for graduation to you. Graduates, your presence tonight represents the culmination of many days and nights, many nights, of hard work and determination. This is a crossroad in your educational journey, from high school to college, and many of you already have a head start on the next path in this road. 37 of you are college graduates as of last night with associate's degrees and some certificates, and many of you are well into your first and second year of college, continuing on here at the Mount and other places. I urge you to remember the support and encouragement you've received from family, friends, faculty, and staff, and to not only thank them for their support this evening, but to pay it forward to others. Sometime in the future, when you see a young person struggling to get through, share your own support and encouragement. Help them see their own ability to be able to turn things around. I assure you, the reward you will get from just one small moment like that will be a poignant moment in your life. We're here tonight not only to celebrate our graduates' accomplishments, but also the partnerships that represent the pillars of support for our students. Without the steadfast support of our partner schools, superintendents, dedicated administration, and guidance staff, we would not be here tonight. We're so grateful to the Gardner Public School District, Superintendent Pellegrino, and I see Principal McMorrow over here. Thank you. Principal Bolger, who was not able to be here this evening, for their support and collaboration as we reimagine the high school experience together for today's learners. It's these partnerships that have helped to build a true community for early college here at MWCC, a place where new paths are forged and lives transform. We've created an environment where students feel supported, encouraged, and safe, where we as faculty and staff learn as much from our students each day as we hope they learn from us. The 57 graduates tonight represent more than 20 cities and towns within the Commonwealth. And after tonight, these graduates are spreading out to pursue a wide variety of career paths, post-secondary degree options. Some will stay here at the Mount, and others will continue on their education at places like Worcester Polytech, Worcester State, Fitchburg State, UMass Amherst, UMass Lowell, Assumption, Regis, Bridgewater, LaSalle, Framingham, Curry, the list goes on. Some are joining the workforce. We've got a police dispatcher in the audience. Some are pursuing specialized career training, like horseback riding and training. And as Destiny mentioned, we also have a published author. Congratulations. Before we begin the presentation of diplomas, I just want to mention that we have 2 graduates who are unable to join us this evening, Madison Payne and Anita Peters. Their accomplishments are important and deserve mention in tonight's ceremony. Although they're not here with us tonight, we congratulate them and wish them well on their next steps. Audience members, we welcome you to celebrate your graduate as their name is called. Applause is welcome. Photos are welcome. Please make noise. You ready? Pathways Early College Experience Class of 2023, please stand. Joshua Gifford. Julia Benoit. Christine Baudou. Cameron Botko. Jenny Brandeberry. Sarah Rocio Bravo. Candace Cooley Johnson. Danielle Fitzpatrick. Stephen Gay. Dan Kidwell. Jeff Kidwell. Connor Connecto. Connecho. Nathan Lilly. Our next diploma will be presented by her father, Professor Susi, Maya Susi. Jessica Starr. Sky Sweeney. Our next diploma will be presented by her father, David Tebow Munoz, for Asusana Tebow Munoz. Juliana Wentworth. All right. Gateway to College, class of 2023, please stand. Maya Beeland. John Dixon. Chloe Casey. Nadia Aldrich. Samantha Bonner. Ryan Bornstein. Gavin Brasseau. Tasia Buford LaForce. Aileen Burns. Ariana Butler. Maggie Campbell. Shannon Caponegro. Gracelyn Curry. Dellaby Gagnon. Destiny Loabe. Josephine Gettenberg. Austin Gainatos. Geneva Herzig. Roland Larson. Vermin LeBlanc. Lily Millette. Evan Miller. Aurora Morgan. Kendall Murphy. We may need to double check what's inside those diploma covers before you leave. Probably. Kendall, we'll get you squared away, I promise. Hey, Josh, want to play another tune? Melanie Pichardo. Sarah Proietti. Sabrina Reed. Carly Rose. April Rosello. Jasmine Santiago. Haley Soderman. Corey Stan. Caitlin Thompson. Michaela Walter. Liliana Woodard. Cole Zeppa. And CJ Weber. Gateway and Pathways, class of 2023, if you're able, please rise. I'd like to welcome President Vanderhoeven back to the podium to officially confer your degrees.
Thank you, Fagan, and thank you all for making so much noise. I love it. This certifies that graduates standing before us have satisfactorily completed the course of study prescribed by the Gardner Public Schools and Mount Wachusett Community College, and are entitled to these diplomas today, Thursday, the 18th of May, 2023. Graduates, there's one final step that needs to take place before you are officially considered a high school graduate, and this is the step that I actually forgot last night. This is the symbolic switching of the tassels. You may proceed and switch your tassels from right to left. There we go. Congratulations. Thank you to all of our speakers. Thank you everyone for coming. To conclude our ceremony, I would like you to join me in welcoming our very own Spanish 1 singers, formed after meeting in their Spanish 1 class in their debut performance for you this evening. Please join me in welcoming Corinne Breen, Gavin Brosseau, Jackie Corser, Munashe Payne, Shakira Roman, Jasmine Santiago, Julian Semide, Sanjay Vyas, and Professor Otto Bolaños to the stage, who will perform Vivir Mi Vida by Mark Antony. They will be singing in Spanish, and the words are also printed in English at the back of your programs.
Bravo, thank you so much, Spanish 1 singers. Before we end, I'd like to recognize all of the Access and Transition staff, the college volunteers, the theater staff, campus police, Green Street Cafe, facilities staff, and media services for making tonight possible. I'd especially like to thank David, Charmise, Stephanie, Kara, and Sarah for believing in these students even when things got tough, and especially when things got tough. I'd like to thank Natalie Nelson for somehow being everywhere all at once. And I'd also like to thank the amazing Jessica Connors, the glue who holds our office together. Now, if everyone could please stand and allow our graduates to recess and join us for pictures and refreshments outside the theater. Congratulations, Gateway and Pathways class of 2023!
Just for one day, we can be heroes. Just for one day, and you can be me, and I'll drink all the time. 'Cause we're lovers, and that is a fact. Yes, we're lovers, that is that. Though nothing will keep us together, we could steal time. Just for one day.